beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's Monday, so we are back at the top of the week, and I am working on weaving in some tails. Thought we could hang out for a little bit while I weave these in, and then I could show you what it is I'm weaving them in on, which you might recognize it if you saw the video where I was showing it. I don't remember, maybe a week ago or so. I was working on it and then I stopped working on it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. So this is my not following a pattern or knowing how people do them attempt at making a cat ear beanie, crochet cat ear beanie. You guys have probably seen them because they've been really popular lately, but and for a while now, but they're the ones where like you don't actually crochet cat ears, because I've actually made a bucket hat where I actually crocheted cat ears onto it and then like sewed them on. But this one is like, you basically just make a rectangle. Well, okay, here's the thing. You make a tube, and then I'm making a tube, and then you just seam it right across the top. So it's basically just a rectangle that you put on your head, and because of like the shape of it and the shape of your head, it kind of makes its own little cat ears. Well, I just finished this. However, I did actually look at some other cat ear beanies when I was deciding how to finish off the hat, and I know I did mine a little different than the ones I was looking at, so we'll see how it comes out. I've got quite a few tails to weave in. I've got tails on both sides of here and also a tail on the inside. But we'll see how it comes out. I did mine a little different because I noticed the way that they did theirs, they actually just literally crocheted a rectangle, not a tube. They didn't crochet in the round. They crocheted a rectangle, and then they slip stitched the two sides together and then slip stitched the top together. And I didn't realize that. I didn't really think about it too heavily. I wasn't like concerned with it being like other people's, like I didn't feel like following a pattern, because at the time when I made this, I had this extra skein of yarn that I wanted to use, and I wanted something I could crochet while I think we were watching TV. We were either watching TV or I was watching hubby play a game, but I was doing something where I wanted like a really passive project, and turning this inside out now, I put my tails to the inside. I wanted something really passive that I could do without needing to read a pattern or, you know, like look up anything about what I was doing. So I was like, you know what? Those little cat ear beanies people have been making look really simple. So I'm going to try making one, and I just want to see how it comes out, because why not? I had this extra skein of yarn, which was, I actually still have some of it left, a little bit of it left. This Sweet Delight Chunky, which is Happy Go Rainbow is the colorway. This is a bulky 5. It's a Yarn Bee yarn from Hobby Lobby. 80% acrylic, 20% polyamide, and it comes with 109 yards. So I had like a tiny bit left from a different skein, and then I had a whole nother skein. So I was like, okay, I bet I could do a hat, like a simple hat. And that was the other thing, was like, I figured doing it, I did it in double crochets, and I figured doing it in double crochets would make it work up quickly. You know, bulky yarn and double crochets definitely will work up quickly, which I was like, heck yeah, let's go for it. And I thought it would make my yarn go a little further as far as like making a hat, you know. If I was doing a more intricate pattern, then I might not have been able to do it with one skein, since it does only have 109 yards. But with it having 109 yards, being a bulky, and then me doing it in double crochets, I actually had plenty. I might not be done with this yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these tails in, and then I want to show it to you guys and get your input. I kind of slapped it on and looked in the mirror with all the tails hanging off of it, and I was like kind of tempted to add something to it. But like I said, I'll explain that in a minute once I get all these tails woven in. But that is what, well, that's not the only thing I've been up to, but that is what part of what I've been up to. I've been working on this, and then I also got out my dragon project that I was working on when I was in Michigan. My dragon crochet project, this one. I've got the body sitting right here. I've got the body and the 2 front legs done on that. And then I had started the back legs, but I realized in the chaos of when I started the back legs, I actually was not making the right legs. I was making, because in that pattern book that I'm using for that, you can pick like, you know, standing or sitting or like begging with like a paw up and stuff like that. And I realized I was actually using the sitting front legs part of the pattern, not the sitting back legs part, because I'm going to do sitting back legs and standing front legs this time. And so I was doing more front legs, so I had to take that all out and start over on the leg, which was fine. I was on like row 14, round 14, so it wasn't like crazy, but I did have to take that out. It also just took me a minute to figure out what I had been doing because I haven't worked on it in a while, a few weeks probably. Yeah, I'd say a few weeks. And then once I figured out what I was doing, I was like, I am not working on the right part of this pattern. So I've been working on that and I got it going again. So I'm about a little bit further, I think, than I had been before I had to rip it out. This is what it's looking like. So this kind of like little whip update, what I've been working on over the weekend, and then also getting your guys' input on something. But let me know down in the comments what you have been working on. If you guys did anything fun this weekend. It was actually pretty chilly here this weekend, like low 50s, and I was so surprised because it's been pretty like toasty, like pretty close to 80, but it cooled back down, and I think it's up in the 60s again today, which I love. I'm like, yes, please stay there. It won't, but you know, I can hope. But we didn't end up doing anything though. We just had a very chill weekend. Like I was telling you guys last week, hubby's spring break starts this week, or is this week, not starts this week. So we had a really nice chill weekend, and then he didn't have to go into work this morning. Just so nice. So he just popped out to grab us energy drinks and just got back with them. So I was like, yes. Well, I was like, I'm the reason he went to get them. I was like, energy drinks? So he just got home with those, and then he is playing around with downloading some games and stuff. I don't know. All right, here's the last tail woven in. But we're not doing anything crazy for spring break. We're actually both very much looking forward to like a chill, low-key, like staying home. He's making potato skins actually today. And so we'll make potato skins and then we'll have potato soup, you know, because we have all the insides of the potato skins. So excited. But okay. So here is what my hat looks like not on. So I did mine a little differently, like I was saying. Let me make sure that's focused. Yeah. Okay, so I did mine a little differently, like I was saying. I worked mine in the round. So in the back, I have this like kind of ugly line where they seam together, which happens when you're using this type of yarn where the color changes and you have like, you know, slip stitching, chaining up, and then doing more. Well, I didn't chain up. I actually did stacked single crochets so that I think they look better than just chaining for double crochets. So the first stitch of each of my rounds is actually a stacked single crochet. But anyway, so I worked a tube until I got to like the height that I wanted, and then for the second to last, well, it was the last round that I did, I actually like folded it the way that I know that I want like the front and the back to be, and I kind of made a little bit taller stitches to get the ear shape a little bit, just to make it a little bit more defined. I wanted to make sure you could tell it was cat ears and not just like a boxy beanie. So what I did was I folded it together so I knew where like the stitches needed to be, and I just did like four double crochets on each corner. That way when I sandwich it together, I can do the 2 stitches to like sandwich those 4 double crochets together, if that makes sense. And then I actually did 2 triple crochets on both sides, so that when I sandwich it together, I've got the tall stitches in the front and the back. And then I double crocheted my way across, and then like I said, on both sides, so like I would get to here, I would do the 2 triple crochets, 4 more doubles, 2 more triples, and then double crochet my way back across. And since I was seaming up in the middle in the back, I tied off when I got back around and slip stitched, and then I reattached on at the end to do my slip stitching to tie it all together, because you like do a slip stitch to like pull the 2 layers together, you know, and make it into a hat. And what I did was I slip stitched all of it except the tops of the triple crochets. I actually did single crochets in the tops of those. Or no, I did 2 slip stitches, half double crochets in the tops of the triples, and then I did a single in the first double that comes after the 2 triples, and then I switched back to slip stitching, which you can tell if you look like at the front and the back, you can see that those are slip stitches. But then, you know, when it gets to here, you can see that's the single, and those are the 2 half doubles, and then it's slip stitches again. So I just did that to kind of give it a little bit more cat ear shape. I wove this tail in, and I should have pulled on it a little bit more before I did that, because it's got a little bit more slack up here than I would like it to have. I might need to unweave it in and then reweave it in. But anyway, about it, here is what it looks like. So I just did a slip stitch, or no, I did a chain to start out my hat. So this is actually a chain, and then I think I single crocheted, if I remember right. I can't remember if I singled or if I just straight up went into doubling, which I might have just straight up went into doubling. But either way, I try to keep my chains not too tight when I'm using them to make the beginning of like a wearable, like a hat, because they don't stretch as much. Like slip stitches, chains have like the least amount of stretch, you know, like compared to like single crochets and stuff. So it's got kind of like a little bit of a border, like a brim already, because it does like cinch in a little bit here. But I think it came out pretty cute. I think you definitely get the cat ear vibe. I don't know, now that I'm looking at it again, maybe I don't want to add to it. I was considering adding like flaps, you know, like the kind that come down over your ears, and then that you have like the loose strands hanging down that you usually like braid. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what kind of hat that is considered, but they're more of like a winter hat. But like I was thinking about adding on, having like the little parts that come down, and then doing like little braided yarns, and then having it be like that. But now that I'm seeing it again, I don't know. So tell me what you guys think. Give me your input. Let me know down in the comments below if you think I should leave it, or if you think I should add on those little like flap things that hang down. I really wish I knew what the phrase for them, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Those little flap things that hang down, and then like the little braids of yarn. What do you think? Or if you think I should do something completely different, you can let me know that too. Obviously, you know, I'll figure out what I want to do eventually, but it'll help me a lot knowing what you guys think, because I don't know. I'm so bad at like making decisions sometimes, but I think it came out cute. This was super, super simple. Like I said, I did realize when I was looking, because I wanted to see, look at them and see how other people finished the tops of these, because I felt like I should do some taller stitches to make sure that you could tell that they were supposed to be cat ears. And that was when I realized other people actually just crochet like a long a long rectangle, and then they fold it in half, slip stitch up the side, and then slip stitch up the along the top. They literally make like a big rectangle and do it. So I did do mine a little bit differently, but it's literally like the same concept, except instead of slip stitching up the side, you just slip stitch in the beginning when you're first making it, and then you just work everything in the round and slip stitch, you know, go up. But I do think it probably looks a little bit better than slip stitching. I feel like I would have like a seam in the back if I did that. So I don't know. I might end up liking it better this way. I might have to try it the other way though, just to see. But you guys have to let me know. I know there's like a ton of patterns for these, including somebody had mentioned there was a bag a day crochet pattern for one of these. So I might have to check that out just to see what she did, because I'm just always curious, you know. I know that the ones that I was seeing, most of them did not appear to have any like taller stitches made. So I don't know if that's like what most people do or not. But anyways, this is what my hat came out like. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope that you're getting some time in for yourself today. Hopefully a little time to crochet, or a little time to read, or a little time to do anything that is going to bring you some joy. Make sure you're taking at least 5 minutes for yourself today. Grabbing yourself something to drink that's going to make you a little happy, you know, like a coffee or a tea or an energy drink or a soda or whatever. Even if it's just like, oh man, Starbucks has lavender right now, you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but their spring flavor is lavender. So they have lavender cold foam, and they have like scoops of lavender that they can put in stuff. So like I have been getting, I got a lavender latte with lavender cold foam. It is so good. I wish Starbucks wasn't so expensive though, man. I just like can't afford to go there very often, but lavender is like one of my absolute favorites. I love florals. I love floral flavors. I know that lavender is definitely one of those things that's like kind of, you either love it or you hate it. You know, it's like a controversial flavor. Because some people, I've been seeing this a lot in like the comment sections about this drink. Like it tastes like soap. It tastes like a spa. Like it tastes like, you know, basically anything that's lavender scented. And I'm like, guys, that's what lavender tastes like. Like that just means you don't like lavender, which is totally fine. You don't have to like lavender, but everybody thinks that it's the drink. They're like, oh, it's so bad. It tastes like, you know, it tastes like bath products. And I'm like, that's just what lavender tastes like. Like lavender tastes like it smells, but I actually love it. I think it's so like refreshing and so good. But yeah, they have that. They have, a frap, a cream frap. So if you don't want any caffeine, like that doesn't have caffeine in it. I don't think. It might have a tiny bit, but it doesn't have like coffee or tea or anything in it. And then they also have a matcha with the lavender cold foam on it, which my hubby got that, and it tasted like Fruit Loops. Like actually legit tasted like Fruit Loops. I have no idea how. I have no idea how green tea and lavender come together to taste like Fruit Loops, but I'm not kidding. It did taste like Fruit Loops. And then, like I said, they have lattes, but you can also just get them to put the lavender scoops in anything. But the lavender cold foam, get that on top. It's so good. Anyways, guys, I hope that you do something just for you today. I hope you do something to treat yourself. I hope that you take some time to do something that is going to bring you joy. But I will see you guys again real soon, and I hope you stay Nomi. Bye, guys.